just you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar. Welcome to Scumm Bar Podcast, episode 81, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, books. Wanda? Who is controlling you, Wanda? And everything in between. I am your host, Mattbrush, and with me today is Vision himself.
Wanda.
Wakanda Wanda. Today, we're going to be talking about kind of Phase 4, I guess, of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Wandavision. Wandavision!
It's like Phase 4.A.
It's kind of Lion King 1.5 of the Endgame series. But anyways, we'll get into it. First, let's get into something I like to call What's New With You, Anth0z. What's going on?
What is going on?
What's going on?
Keep going.
I can't do it. Can you do it?
Not that high, no. You started too high for me. Is that
yeah, I think I did, yeah.
It's like... It's kind of like when everybody sings Happy Birthday, but they already start the song like,
here we go,
Happy Birthday.
Yeah, it's so high up.
And then they have to shift like 8 keys down.
I know, and I always have to,
because
yeah, exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Man, you just nailed it. Oh, that's so true.
I always hated it. So whenever somebody's waiting, yeah, exactly.
You have to start really low, and then it gets everyone else. Yeah,
super low. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And then it's like less climactic, but everybody's still in tone.
Yeah,
it's okay.
In sync, on key.
What is new? I don't know what's new with me right now.
You don't know what's going on?
I don't know what's going on. Give me something. What's new with me? You can tell me. You tell me.
Didn't you say you would change your computer setup in some way, shape, or form? Yeah, your computer. You had to fix your computer.
Oh, I did fix. Well, I didn't. I brought it to.
Your computer was rebooting.
It was it was just so finicky. It would restart when I would play League, or it would restart when I wouldn't play League.
You play League?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about that?
All right. I'm really rusty and so bad right now. It's okay. So there's a big patch change that happened towards the end of 2020. So if you were somebody who missed the transition where they were kind of like introducing some items but still keeping some of the old ones, and then gradually getting to this new stage. So basically the whole menu, like the shop menu, everything is completely different. All the items, like the icons, look different. The actual changes to the items are pretty drastic, that you need to actually figure out like a different kind of item sets that you need to build for each champion that you play.
Weird.
But the one nice thing is that they implemented a recommended items build like in the shop. So before you had to just you could just select like the type. So if you want to buy like a tanky item, then you could look for that. Or if you want to get like a mage item, you can just get that. But now it'll say like, based on the composition you were against, these are the recommended items that will be suitable for your champion. So it's nice for those people who don't really care too much to figure out the item sets on their own, because it's almost like another beast for the game.
Right.
And this makes it a little bit even with the playing field. But I kind of feel like if you're going with those, then you're leaving yourself open to not being able to capitalize on other items that could actually be better, because they'll only tell you that each time you're building one item, they'll give you like a few other alternatives, and they will only be good for maybe like two of your enemy champions. So long story short, it's a little bit easier for people getting into the game, but I don't know if it's actually going to make it for the end all be all. I think it's be all end all, the all end BB. It's probably just better for you to know the items yourself and be comfortable with that.
Right.
So that's new with me.
Interesting. Okay. I will go off of that. What's new with me then, I will choose that I've changed over my computer to this new thing I was showing you before the episode, which is an NVMe SSD, which I never really looked at before or looked into. They are crazy little SSD drives. To anybody who doesn't know, they're like little chipset drives that go into like a PCI slot, or I shouldn't say it goes into a PCI slot. It goes into an NVMe slot if it's compatible with your motherboard. But my motherboard is too old because it's from 2013. So I'm using a PCI slot, which is your graphics card slot, and I had to buy an expansion card that goes into that slot, and then I plugged this little NVMe card into it. And if all that sounded ridiculous, let me just say these are hard drives that are tiny. They're tiny. It's like the size of my pinky. Like it's like the length of my pinky. It's insane. It's such a small little drive. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, and I just took it out of the package, and it was just a teeny tiny little thing. It's a 1 terabyte drive as well, so it's amazing. I'm really blown away by the tech, so I installed all that, and I also got my Plex server all up and running.
Oh,
and,
nice.
I'm using that. I've been using that to watch The Sopranos recently, so that's been really nice. Yeah.
So what are you using to? Do you have anything that's sourcing the videos to get onto your Plex, or you just have them on hand already?
I've got, the videos that I have available already in my library, I have in a separate hard drive. So I already have those videos allowed to me, and then I use my Plex server now to kind of send them out. So on like my break at lunch from work, I'm able to go find some Wi-Fi and then continue watching my show, which is really nice.
Find some Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I've been enjoying that, and yeah, the whole Plex world is cool. Plex just updated to now have a Plex Arcade, which I can't tell if it's cool or not yet, but it's Plex like partnered with Atari, it sounds like, and they now have like a library of games, so you can play these old Atari games through your Plex server. It sounds on most of your devices. Now, it sounds cool, but it would have been more cool, I think, if they could have added the Plex formula to it, where I could just throw on whatever emulator I wanted to, and then whatever collection of games I wanted to, and then Plex could be like a RetroArch kind of front-end case for it, and then show all your games and display them, then you play them. I think that would have made more sense to how a Plex is, and maybe they're going in that direction, so I'm just kind of seeing where they go with that. But it seems to be they're starting that way at least now. So,
hey, do you have a Plex Pass?
I do, yes.
Is it worth it?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I got the lifetime one. It was on sale, so I bought the lifetime one, so I don't have to worry about it. But I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. I don't think you need it.
How much did you pay for the lifetime one?
It was $70.
Oh, that's not bad.
It was a sale at Christmas time, and I figured, hey, if I don't ever have to worry about it again, then sure. So I got it.
Oh, was that was the recent sale one?
It was back during like just before New Year's, I think.
Okay,
it was like end of December. Yeah.
I remember seeing people talk about the lifetime one, and I thought, like, well, I mean, it's a lifetime, it doesn't seem like it would hurt if it seemed like it was a pretty significant sale.
Yeah.
Rather than just doing like an annual subscription that you don't have to worry about it. So, well, if it happens again, we'll see. But I wasn't sure.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I used to use Plex all the time, and then now I'm using it again with the lifetime pass. But I don't know how much of a difference it's made. I don't think it's changed really anything. But minus the fact that I'm watching it now at lunch. I should say that. So lunch from work, I can now access my Plex server from anywhere. While before I would have had to have like VPN to my home network or something if I wanted to. So,
okay.
So I don't know. I guess it's nice because I can watch it at work, but I wouldn't have to. I could just watch it from home on my local network. So.
Yeah, true.
But but it's nice. I like it. I have like my own Netflix, customized Netflix, which I kind of like.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because like if you don't already subscribe to all the other networks, then you can just like it's easy for you to rely on what you have rather than having to search like, oh, does Netflix have this one? Oh, does Prime Video have this one? Like I have this one.
I want to start building libraries of shows that I've always wanted to watch but never watched. So like Attack on Titan, for example, still never seen that show, and I know, and everyone's been talking about it lately. So I was like, I gotta watch it. So
the final season right now.
I know, so I want to build up on that show. Hopefully, watch the whole thing. Then we can talk about it here at some point. So
yes, please.
That's the dream.
My mind. Oh boy.
Okay, well, with that, let's get into the actual news of the show, which I like to call Ye Old News.
Ye Old News.
Hey, ye old news heads. Starting off here with a trailer that you pointed out for me, which is Falcon and Winter Soldier's official trailer on Disney+.
Mm-hmm. It's also on YouTube and stuff. You can find it anywhere now.
Yeah, I guess. I just watched it on Disney+. I found this trailer to be better than the other trailer. I found the other trailer to seem like lesser of a show. I don't know why, but it just felt lesser.
It was just like kind of banter.
Yes, exactly. This trailer feels more like there's actually like a plot, there's things at stake. It feels like more of an action film, and yet at the same time, it still doesn't hit me as hard as I think I want it to yet. It's like I'm gonna watch this show. I definitely will watch this show, but I have some concerns still, even with this trailer. So I'm like hesitant.
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I will watch it because it's just it's obviously involving a lot of things I'm already invested in, right? So, but watching this trailer, it just made me feel like it was one of those typical cop shows. Like it seemed a lot less like two Avengers characters that have their TV show, and more like two like good guy, bad guy, or like buddy cop guys who happen to have like extra skills or like extra things at their disposal. Sorry, and so I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting from the trailer so far, but
yeah, I guess the term for us would be cautiously optimistic.
Sure.
So, I mean, to be excited about something, I like that it seems like Civil War. You know, they brought back what's his face? Zemo, and they've also brought back the girl, whatever her name
Carter.
is. Yeah, Sharon Carter.
What's Sharon Carter? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that Sharon? Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, Peggy Carter, of course. So yeah, Sharon Carter, the niece. Yeah. So they brought back like some of the characters from Civil War, and also some of like it's bringing back that story arc from Civil War that I like. So I'm hoping that's good, but I'm very cautious on that. So I'll remain cautiously optimistic because I don't know what they're going to do with that. But
that's right. So I do remember when we talked about it before that we found out Zemo was going to be in it. I was really excited. I still am. It's just that, knowing that it is like a buddy cop thing, like I don't know if it's going to be a buddy cop thing, but if it is, then I can't see the Zemo character being brought out in a way that I would like.
Yes. Yeah.
So, it almost... I feel like it's going to be like trying to be a James Bond movie, and Zemo is kind of like he's just like that villain behind the scenes again, and kind of thing. He
was good in Civil War, and I hope they don't wash him down,
Yeah, because in Civil War he did everything pretty much on his. He infiltrated, he stole, he killed, like he did everything himself, and he's just like, he's kind of like a very just a convicted guy. Like he's a guy with true convictions and the willing to do it all too, right?
So, he had nothing to lose either, so
yeah.
So anyway, what else you got for news?
What else do I got in terms of trailers? There was the Mighty Ducks Game Changers trailer.
I didn't hear about this.
We have Emilio Estevez is back.
No way, really?
No way, and he's a little bit bigger. He's a little bit more tanned. So he's less Sheen-like.
Oh, okay. Less Sheen. He doesn't have that nice sheen on him.
Yeah, he's kind of like I guess in his stage, he kind of reminds me of like the Pat Morita, Mr. Miyagi of Karate Kid.
Oh,
he almost seems like that kind of character.
Yeah.
In a way.
Oh, you know what? This is kind of stupid and funny. I mean, I guess it's just showing how our world is these days. But I was thinking about this not that long ago because I was like, okay, Karate Kid is doing really well now with its Cobra Kai show. And, like, it's making me want to watch Karate Kid, go back to the old ones, and then go into Cobra Kai and go into the show because apparently it's doing really well. But I was thinking, I was like, okay, what are some other series that they will go back and find from kind of that time period, and make a show out of? Immediately I thought of Mighty Ducks because I was like, oh yeah, maybe we'll do Mighty Ducks. But I also thought of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I know that's weird because they made so many remakes, but I'm talking about like kind of doing that old school kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles style and putting it into a show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I did pass around the idea of Mighty Ducks. Not enough. I wasn't thinking about it enough for really like, oh, that'll definitely happen. But it's crazy that here it is now. It's like almost an April Fool's joke. Like someone's just showing me the trailer to exactly what my mind was thinking of the other day. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah. I can't remember when it's going to be streaming. I assume it's going to be a Disney Plus thing.
It's a Disney Plus. I'm just looking for the date.
Who else is in it? I don't know if anybody else is returning.
I don't think it says a date. But no, it looks like March 26th. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looks like Emilio Estevez. Yeah.
Okay. For some reason I feel like I saw Goldberg's face, but maybe not. No, probably
I don't think so.
Okay. So anyway, he's just gonna be that. He's gonna be that guy who trains the hockey team again and makes them all better.
Cool.
What else? What news do you go? Should we just go like a back and forth? Like
tit for tat. Let's do a tit for tat with Anth and Matt.
Sure. Ooh, cool. I like it.
Okay, so I'm switching gears entirely. I'm going to sports for a second here because I just happen to be watching UFC a little bit.
Well, Mighty Ducks is sports.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay. Recently with UFC, now I'm not going to talk about UFC all the time. It's just that there happened to be something I think is fairly large news. Most people know about Conor McGregor. So Conor McGregor was apparently going to retire in 2020. But he decided to come back and do a rematch with I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but I think it's Dustin Poirier, who is like the lightweight. I'm butchering all of this, but he was like the featherweight or lightweight champion. So McGregor came back to do a rematch with him, from a bout that they did in 2014. I watched this one, which is the only reason why I'm really talking about it, because I thought it was interesting. I was like, cool, he's coming back and he's fighting.
I just realized you have a whole paragraph.
Yeah, I was going to read off what happened,
cool,
but honestly, I'm not going to read off what happened. So, essentially, if you want to know the fight, go watch the fight. If you want to hear about it, I'm just going to tell you right now. McGregor lost, essentially. And he was going to be retired last year, and then he came back and he did this fight, and then, now he lost. And it was pretty brutal watching him lose, too. I've seen this guy go from UFC and being, like, the best of the best, to then going and fighting, like, Floyd Mayweather in, like, a boxing one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat. And then I saw him fight, like, the Mountain on YouTube, in, like, the Game of Thrones Mountain character. I saw him,
Wait, what?
Yeah, he did, like a wrestling thing with the Mountain. It was pretty crazy. And then I see him here, and I'm watching him now on his original turf, doing what he originally did, was UFC, and I just watched him just get, like, wrecked. And I was like, oh, man, like, unfortunately, that's just someone getting older. But, so there you go, there's news, that's pop culture there. So, Conor McGregor lost, and he said that he's probably going to retire again, so...
And then probably come out later.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll come back again. I mean, Mike Tyson came back.
Mike Tyson's doing it, so,
yeah.
I kind of feel like... I didn't watch him a lot, but I know I watched some, and he seemed like he was a good fighter, and he would win sometimes, but I feel like he was he wasn't all talk, he was more talk than he was fight.
He's trying to be a self-fulfilling prophecy by talking, and
kind of,
but he did put his money where his mouth was a few times, and it was fun to watch, especially watching that boxing match with Floyd Mayweather. Like, there was no chance he was going to win, but it was fun to watch for sure. He had a good amount of stamina for the first couple rounds. It was good.
Yeah, I think that was the one where because like it actually went the full round, right? Like there was no knockout or anything.
No, but it only went 9 rounds, I believe. It didn't go to like a higher count.
I see. Yeah. That's actually not too bad. I think I expected like 3.
Yeah, for somebody who's used to UFC, and I'm more used to boxing than UFC, but watching a UFC match is so bizarre to me because it's so fast. These guys are out of breath really quickly, for good reason, but they're out of breath so fast, and they're just... It's these really quick lightning rounds of things, and then it's round over, but boxing is this long, monotonous stamina match, right? So it's interesting to watch them go back and forth. Anyways, that just really quick little thing. I watched it not that long ago, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, so I just thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Am I tit or am I tat?
You're tat.
I'm tat. Okay, time to tat. So, what is this I wrote? Oh, I wrote that Spider-Man villain tease. Okay, so... I guess that there was a photo from the set of Spider-Man 3, and it posts. It shows the what's it called? It's like a non-profit thing called Feast, and it's supposed to be a thing that is. It's in the city that helps people who are like homeless or people in need, and it just helps them like find a community and just gives them stuff and gives them a home kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Feast is also I'm referring to Spider-Man PS4 game. That Feast is run by this guy named Mr. Lee, who is also Mr. Negative.
Oh, so, yeah.
So I think that the photo is technically teasing that Mr. Negative will be one of the villain. Well, one of, or if the only villain of the next Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man Homeless. I can't remember what it's going to be called.
I don't know if there's a name yet for it.
What? There was Homecoming, there's Far From Home, and I think your fiance was the one who dubbed it.
Yeah, Homeless,
right?
Yeah. I think we might be getting there, yeah.
Yeah. So, so I guess that's a thing, potentially Mr. Negative, and that can be kind of cool to see on screen, live action.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's basically like an inverted color guy, so...
I've got really high hopes for this movie, but it just sounds like there's too much riding on it. It should just be a regular movie. But there's so much they're trying to bring in. Then again, I said the same thing about Civil War. And Civil War was great. So if they can do another Civil War, then cool.
Yeah, Spider-War. Because there's still so much back and forth talk about, like, oh, is Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield going to be in it?
Then they're all like, Doctor Strange's parallel universes are all going to take place in Spider-Man, so Doctor Strange is going to be heavily, like, introduced in Spider-Man 3. And you're like, oh, okay. And then they're like, oh, and then, what's-his-face? Daredevil is going to be making an appearance in Spider-Man 3. And then you're just like, holy, can you stop with Spider-Man 3? Like...
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Maybe make a few other movies, but I don't know. Again, Civil War had all of this stuff talked about it too. I mean, Civil War is the movie where Black Panther was going to be introduced, and then like months before Civil War came out, suddenly Spider-Man was like bought by Sony and thrown into the movie.
Yeah,
and Civil War still works. So whatever. I'm excited.
All right, cool. Yeah. Well, that's my tat. Your tat.
Wow, nice tat. Okay, here we go for the tit. Cool. Jason Momoa, Knuckles, Sonic 2.
Wait, what? Oh, like as the voice, right? Like he's not gonna just dress up.
No, they're gonna have a CGI Sonic, and then they're gonna just have a live action Jason Momoa playing Knuckles. He's gonna have like this like hat on that like kind of looks like the Knuckles backer. And then
it's gonna be Knuckles has his he's got like dreadlocks, so they're just gonna give him like a Rastafarian like kind of like wig.
Yep.
And then they're just gonna paint all of his skin red. Yeah, I can see it.
Cool. It could happen. I don't know about Sonic. I haven't seen the first Sonic movie, but apparently it was honestly not that bad. So,
really? I don't believe you.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. Apparently it wasn't that bad. I may or may not watch it. I also have a small spot for it because they filmed some of it over here on the island. So
that's right. Yeah.
I want to watch it just to see those scenes. But still, who knows? There
was no Tails character in the first one, right?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Yeah, wouldn't it be weird if they skipped Tails and went to Knuckles? That would be kind of strange.
A little bit. Maybe they'll introduce both. They're just trying to film, or they would want to cast Tails.
I just want to hear the sound effect of the boing. I want to hear that, and I want to see Tails and Knuckles, and that'd be fun.
Who would you see as the voice of Tails?
This is so cliche these days, but Tom Holland probably.
Okay.
I know everyone says Tom Holland, but a young kid. I don't know. Young kid actor. He's good. How about that kid from Love Actually? He's not really a kid anymore, but he played Jojen Reed in Game of Thrones. He could play Tails.
Oh yeah, I forgot his name.
Yeah. I'm just thinking young kids. I don't know why. Yeah. Those are like the two go-tos for me all the time. I wish I had a better kid to reference, but...
Yeah, that's fair. Well, are you thinking like they would be the voice, or they would actually dress up and they're
no voice.
They got like brown
just
fur
voice.
And like two tails.
Tails has to be a very passive-sounding voice, actually, now that I think about it. It can't have any bravado to it. It's got to be like this passive, like... That's why I think Tom Holland, where he's like Mr. Stark, like always kind of like being his assistant.
Oh, yeah.
Tails has to be that way for me.
I'm kind of picturing Tails as... He's got to be like almost high-pitched and kind of annoying.
What about that kid from Glee who plays... Porcelain, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah.
He's got that naturally high voice. Kurt.
Kurt.
I only mentioned that because my fiance is watching Glee right now, so it's on my mind. But he could play Tails.
I think so. Yeah, that's actually kind of what I was looking for.
He actually have a funny personality where he's like almost a little bit snarky too, which would be
yeah.
Like against Sonic, that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like that pick.
Nice,
cool.
I'm glad I actually came up with an original casting that wasn't just Tom Holland.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cast it. Jason Momoa. You got some pull, right?
Yep.
Just cast him.
There we go.
Do it.
Done.
Cool. All right. Back to Tat. Should I do? Did you mention any of these? Okay, I'm gonna do a 2-in-1.
Ooh.
Because no. Should I do a 3? Oh, that's
do
kinda bad.
3-in-1.
Or like
3-in-1.
3-in-1. No, but it's not like a good. It's not a good thing. It's okay. I'll do a 4. I'll do a 4.
Now I have no idea what you're talking about.
A 2-4. A 2-4-6.
2-4-6. 7.
4.
7.
4-6.
7.
Okay, so yeah, it's not so good news, but just a few things. So okay, one thing. I think I wrote this down just because it's something that our family is kind of going through too, so we know like what the struggle is. But Tony Bennett has come out and has Alzheimer's apparently.
Oh no!
And he's been dealing with it.
I got the world on a string.
So that's nice. Yeah, so I think he does have a caregiver who I think says like he still remembers who she is and like so they're having a good time. But Alzheimer's overall, like I don't know what they're like everything they're going through. It's not an easy thing to go through. So hopefully they can keep on trucking with that. And then the next set of things, pretty sad. Dustin Diamond, who played Screech on Saved by the Bell. I think he died at the age of 44. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, haven't heard anything from him recently, for a long time actually. Let's see, he died February 1st, and how old was he? Yeah, 44. Stage 4 lung cancer. So
I didn't really read the kind of like eulogy thing written, but there was like a thing written from his agent. Apparently, it was really heartwarming. It was like really, really nice. It was an agent who like really understood how the actor is like famously had a lot of messed up things in his life. Did a lot of things that he, was famous for all the wrong reasons. And the agent was kind of trying to explain away that so that his death didn't seem like good riddance kind of thing. And the agent said, I didn't read it, but apparently the agent said all these things that people were like, wow, like obviously the agent understood him really well and knew him on a personal level better than most people do, obviously. And just like say these little platitudes about him kind of thing. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then part 3 of this bad news, Robert A. Altman, who is the founder and CEO of Bethesda, also passed away at the age of 73.
Oh, weird.
So I don't know what that usually means for like big companies when the founder and CEO passes away. I assume that they would have some sort of things in place so that they can pass the roles and responsibility down to somebody who they know would be I guess appropriate for it. But I feel like, I mean, I don't really know a lot about Bethesda. I know you mentioned Bethesda a lot, and so I feel like, I mean, just talking about Bethesda as a whole, you could probably say more about it. But I mean, either way, like, I think it's sad to know that anybody passes away. But when you hear about CEO and founder of a big company who is making products that people like all over the planet are really enjoying and following, I think one of the things that I would be curious to know is like, well, what's going to happen with the company next? Like, are they going to be able to keep it going as well as they have been?
Right.
And yeah.
Well, I definitely don't want to belittle his career at all in any way, shape, or form, but when it comes to like game direction or like how a game is going to be made or the games that are made and creative talent behind it and all that kind of stuff, we look more towards directors and like producers of games. The biggest name for Bethesda is Todd Howard. He's the one who makes a lot of the Fallout games or promises for Fallout games or promises for Elder Scrolls games. He's the one who becomes a large joke all the time because he promises a lot and then usually delivers very little. At the same time, Todd Howard is not afraid to step into the limelight and say all the things that he screwed up on and then continue. So props to him for just continuing to work hard at these games. But Todd Howard's definitely the one that if he was to die, then we'd be like, whoa, who's going to take over Bethesda on which games and directions we're going to be doing. But the CEO level for a game development company like this, they just want to make sure the money is rolling through. Not to belittle his situation at all, but definitely it's more on the shoulders of Todd Howard on what Bethesda would be doing.
Gotcha.
Todd Howard is like the Hideo Kojima of Bethesda, or like the Miyazaki. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Nintendo guy. Mario guy.
Miyamoto. Satoshi. It's not Satoshi.
Miyamoto.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the Miyamoto of Bethesda. Is Todd Howard, which is really, really doing shame to Shigeru Miyamoto.
Okay, and then the last of the bad news is Christopher Plummer
passed
away.
No, Christopher Plummer.
Yeah, so for those of you who are Sound of Music fans, or he was also in Smiles and Tears and Daggers from the Back, and most recently, what was that one? What's that? It's not Knives Out, is it? What's the one he was recently in? Christopher Plummer. Recent movies. It is Knives Out, right? He was in Knives Out. So he passed away. Sad news. He was 91, passed away peacefully at his home in Connecticut. So,
wow.
I guess just, it was his time to go, but very sad news.
If you gotta go, that's the way to go.
Yes, peacefully.
Yeah.
My wife is a huge fan of Sound of Music, so she was really sad to hear about this happening. And
I feel a bit bad admitting this, but I had no idea that was Christopher Plummer in Sound of Music. I'm looking at the screenshots now going like, whoa.
Well, I mean, that was from like 40s, 50s?
Yeah, but I've seen Sound of Music so many times, I didn't even know it was Christopher Plummer. I would have never known.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, if you're used to seeing his face nowadays, I mean, like, it looks completely different.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm more used to seeing him with the older face, for sure.
Yeah. White hair, goatee, that kind of look. So sad news, but that's my 4-part stinger.
That was a quadruple whammy, man. I'm just all sad now.
Just want to, just rip it off like a band-aid. Just get it over with.
Get it done.
Yeah.
All right.
And then back to some good life stuff.
Okay. Some good news that Disney shut down Blue Sky Studio.
Okay, is that good? I don't know.
No, I was just kidding. That's the studio that made Ice Age. Also, the studio made a really good movie from back in the day called Robots. So sad to see it go. Robots had Ewan McGregor and Robin Williams in it. It was such a good film. Such a random little obscure film. It was awesome.
Blue Sky Robots.
Blue Sky. Mr. Blue Sky.
Oh, I never saw this. Okay.
Yeah, good movie.
Cool.
So, anyways, I don't want to say too much about it, but Disney shut down the studio. That doesn't mean these movies are gone. Doesn't mean that they're not going to make them anymore. Unfortunately, the studio got absolved, and we don't know what Disney's going to do with it next. It is obviously their competitor studio, so it's now not anymore now that they own it. So, just interesting to see what they're going to do with it next. Although there are a lot of fans of Ice Age still out there, so we don't know. Maybe they'll do something else.
Ice Age is great. I feel like they're really underrated movies.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know why.
And I like robots, so I guess I like Blue Sky.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens with that one.
See what happens.
And a little bit. Again, this is still kind of like CGI related, but have you been watching or have you watched any of the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so they're pretty quick watches because there's 6 episodes each. There's only 2 seasons out. The first one is Siege. The second one is Earthrise.
All right.
And it's I guess it's basically like a reboot of what's happening with Transformers. So the third season is not out yet, but
wow, the animation looks very good on it.
oh, actually, it's really well done.
Yeah,
visually looks great.
Cool.
The voice work's not bad. I think overall, like, it's some of the delivery makes it kind of feel to me like it's made more for a younger audience, but
Right.
I could just be reading too much into it. Either way, like, I watched it all and I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the third season, which I think has a working title right now of Transformers Beast Alliance.
No way.
So
No way.
that could imply
Wars.
yeah. So that could be fun. I would be really interested to see with today's technology how they would do the Beast. But at the same time, it would be kind of weird because we would be like we've been following in like so far in the War for Cybertron trilogy, we've been following the Autobots and Decepticons, and when we originally watched Beast Wars, back in like the 90s, right?
Yeah.
When they actually encountered when the Maximals and Predacons encountered the Autobots and Decepticons, they found they found the Autobots in the Ark, and they had all died. Like, it was like ages ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Still... Or no, actually it wasn't ages ago. I think it was kind of like a recent occurrence, but they had all died. So maybe in Beast Alliance we'll get to see them all interact together. I mean, we don't know. I don't know if there's any news relating to that, but I think I'm looking forward to watching it and seeing how that goes.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like Beast Wars. Good show.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I miss it. Okay, so for the rest of my news, I'm just going to speed this up real quick on my news. Real quick, Justice
Cool.
League, Snyder Cut. There's apparently all this hubbub about a new Batman and Joker deleted scene that's going to be thrown into that, showing how Joker
Ooh.
became the Joker that we see in Justice League.
Whoa.
So that might wet your whistle for seeing the new Justice League Snyder Cut.
Wow,
Which I am excited for. Cool. I think we should watch and talk about it because I think that's going to be a really interesting cut. It's going to be long, unfortunately, but hey, it's interesting.
This is years in the making, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Years. It's like the director just editing it himself over time, making it a better movie.
Yeah.
My last thing is really, really quick here. I just want to say this. I was just reading an article about this, but Super Mario World's music got remastered by the fans. It's apparently a project that the fans do for a lot of Super Nintendo music. And mostly this is for you. I just think that you should see this link and listen to some of these tracks. The people have revamped it so that it's the same songs, but it's remastered so it's quality for you to listen to. Because if you try to rip this music off of Super Nintendo, it's really, really hard to get a good quality track. So these people are trying to remaster it as close to the original as they can, but with high quality sound. So it's really, really good. So I've been jamming out to some of these songs in the background here, and it's really well done. So
Cool.
I figured you'd like that, and it looks like they're going to be moving on to a lot of Super Nintendo games after this. So
Whoa, there was for the whole OST. That's awesome.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So not only do you have the OST of like the newer Mario games, but you can also jam around to the old Mario games.
Oh, Yoshi's Island.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
know.
sounds so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Even the thumbnail of it, it's so colorful and vibrant.
I know,
So
it looks so
HD.
great. It's all good
HD visual, HD
good
audio.
remaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Cool.
I know, I love
Good
it.
call.
And that's it. I'm just getting my news there. What do you got?
Okay.
What do you got?
I can speed up. I got a couple. I guess actually I should just end with one. That kind of works out. There is I'm gonna post this in your notes. There's an upcoming Pacific Rim Netflix original show coming.
Oh, nice.
And it is called Pacific Rim Black, I believe. It's kind of like anime style.
Yeah.
What's odd in the trailer is the frame rate, or sorry, I don't know if it's the frame rate, but like the style of the artistry, like because it just seems kind of choppy.
Watching.
Which is weird, but for anybody who is a fan of Pacific Rim, I actually think this looks interesting, and it looks like a well done anime or cartoon, whatever you will.
Whoa, you're right. The frame rate does seem strange on it.
I can see the frame rate working well with certain types of animation. This one kind of throws me off a little bit.
It's really strange. The character movements, the models of the humans moving, is really anime, where they are at like I don't know the exact animation frames, but it's like let's just say, for lack of a better term, it's 12 frames instead of 24 frames per second.
Sure.
But then, like, the robots are moving, and they're moving at, like, 40 frames per second.
Yeah,
so they're
exactly.
really
They're
fast. So
very
they're moving like a
fluid.
human moves really quickly, and then the humans are all, like, juddery, like an animation.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very strange.
Yeah, it's just like the opposite. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still looking forward to seeing how it works out, how the show works out. It looks like it could be fun.
I'd check this out. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing my attention to it.
You're welcome. And that's my news.
That's the news! Let's
Alright.
move on to our topic of the day, which is Wandavision!
Wanda.
All right,
Wanda.
I am super curious. You're sitting there with your wife. You guys are sitting down. You're looking at Disney Plus, and the new Wandavision episode 1 is out. What are you feeling as soon as you finished watching that first episode? Episode 1. What was going through your guys' heads?
After finishing episode 1, I was thinking, okay, they released 2 episodes today, which means we're probably going to get a lot more color by the second episode and probably slightly more explanation.
And then you watched episode 2.
And then I'm trying to think of what. Let me actually. I gotta pull this up. I gotta pull up what episode.
Disney Plus episode 2.
Let's see. WandaVision episode guides.
Yeah.
There we go. That's how you use Google, right?
Guide.
It's a GUID.
Guidi.
Wow. Okay. Wanda and Vision struggle to conceal their powers during dinner with Vision's boss and wife.
Yeah.
That's episode 1.
I
No,
know.
I'm just reading on IMDb.
Episode
but-
2 is the magic one where it's for the children.
Ah,
they are
in an
doing
effort
it-
to fit in,
yeah.
Wanda and Vision perform a magic act in their community talent show. Okay, so yeah, like these kind of thing, like the first 2 episodes to me was like, okay, I'm pretty sure the rest of the season is not going to be like this,
Yes.
but I don't know.
Yes.
I was so uncertain, but I was thinking like, I'm just gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
Because like there has to be more to it. There's no reason why there wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And so okay, there was that one. I can't remember if it was the end of episode 2. No, wait. Okay, I said my piece. What were your interpretations?
Well, that's how I was feeling. My fiance
Okay.
was not feeling that way. She
Yeah.
didn't like the first episode at all, and she was just
Yeah.
like, I like after that, a half an hour of that episode, she's like, I can't watch more of that. She's like, it needs to like. She's like, I need something, some reason to watch, right?
Yeah.
And then I was trying to like entice her. I was like, yeah, but it's kind of cool at like the dinner table when it sort of like became creepy. You know, I was like, maybe this is going to be like a horror or something.
Yeah.
Then we started watching episode 2, and it was like the same thing. And I was like, "Come on, show!" I was like, "Give me a little
Yeah.
bit more to at least convince her it's
Yeah.
not bad."
Yeah.
But man, we got through all of episode 2, and we both thought the same thing. We're just like, "This is way too slow of a start for a show like this. A show that has so much riding on it." I don't know if the show meant to be the beginning to something after Endgame, but it is. And unfortunately, all we want to do is answer a bunch of questions, and the show just keeps throwing more questions at us. And
Yeah.
it's
Or
really-
uncertainties. Yeah.
It's asking a lot of your audience to watch an hour long of just old school sitcoms from like the 50s and 60s. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's such a cool, ballsy move to try something like that, but you have to hurry it up, unfortunately, or else you're going to lose people. Now, I was saying this to somebody the other day, and I was just like, I'm like a fan of this stuff. Like, I do a podcast about Marvel stuff. Like, I talk about
Yeah.
Marvel stuff all the time, and here I am struggling to continue with this. Not because it's like horrible television, it's just because they're not giving me anything Marvel related. So how do I continue with this, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I was feeling after episode 2, at least.
Yeah, my wife was feeling pretty much the same as your fiance, that she wasn't really into it, and it seemed like she wasn't going to continue with like watching it with me.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe she decided on her own, but I might have like had a hand in convincing her, like, oh look, there was color by the end of this one. I'm pretty sure the rest will actually be in color and a little bit more revealing in terms of like what's happening outside of this random sitcom
Yeah.
aspect. Which it did start happening, and I agree. It is a lot to ask of your audience. I guess because you're making them wait. Sure, like an hour is a long time to sit down and wait, because you're not actually sitting down and absorbing new things per se.
Right.
Right? You're witnessing things that are happening that I don't know. It's like, do you really need to do all these things to add to this whole idea of being in like a story, like dream kind of thing?
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to go through, like, I think it actually takes pretty much 3 whole episodes of it 2 for sure. The third one is kind of like a half-half.
Not
but...
until episode 4 when we actually have a
right.
real
Yeah.
episode.
That's right.
In my opinion, a real episode. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
that's right. I think slowly we see just like a couple things here and there that are just giving some more tells of like, okay, there's more to it. But it's such a slow handoff that it is very difficult to keep going. And I find really interesting that usually when I go onto the Instagram accounts to see the comments, I don't go to it to see the comments, but I end up just looking at the comments because, like, you know, what else are you gonna do sometimes? Of course. And I was looking to see if there would be a lot of people like bashing the shows, but I saw a lot of positive things about the shows. A lot of people are just really into what was happening from episode 1, which I found very confusing because I mean, I didn't grow up watching black and white shows like I Love Lucy and stuff like that. I have a little bit of a feel for it because I've seen stuff here and there, but yeah, not enough. And it's not enough to make me feel inclined to keep watching WandaVision if it were to continue like that.
Right.
And I think you used the word bold, which I found that's pretty accurate. It's a pretty bold move to do that, but I think 3 episodes of doing like full sitcom is a little bit too much.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because it wasn't until episode 4 where I started to see, in my opinion, how this could have been done possibly better. Now, I don't know because this is really uncharted territory here for a show like this. So I'm still not really too sure. But I guess by the time we had 3 full episodes of different sitcoms, there's like the 50s style sitcom, there was the 60s style sitcom, and then the 70s style sitcom, we had some glimpses into like hints at what this might be telling us. Yeah. Now it seemed clear at the moment that Wanda was kind of creating this universe around her. That all seemed kind of clear to me from, I think it was even episode 1. Like we just kind of figured because when you've got Kitty from that 70s show looking at Wanda telling her to stop it, you're kind of thinking like, she's telling Wanda to stop it. And like so my fiance and I thought that from the get-go. And I still don't know where we are. So from the moment of this recording, we've seen 5 episodes of this show. And we still don't exactly know the conflict, but it does seem like Wanda is creating all this universe herself. Now, we don't know if she's being forced to or if she's just doing this because of her remorse for Vision's death. But we just know she's creating this universe. But anyways, what I didn't realize is the YouTube community had built a lot of like, what does this mean? What does that mean? What does this part mean? What does that part mean? And I didn't see a lot of that stuff in the first 3 episodes. I didn't see a lot of like, apparently the octagon shape, the hex pattern, was really obvious in a lot of the first 3 episodes. I didn't see it, but apparently a lot of people did. Apparently, like little things here or there. Why the beekeeper guy coming up out of the pipe? Why was there the radio saying Wanda, Wanda? You know, why was that happening? Which I actually thought that was Steve Rogers saying that. I don't know why. But
I thought that was Hawkeye.
Oh, that's funny. I was like, it's Steve. And then like my fiance now hears Captain America. So she's like, it is Steve. You know, so we thought it was Steve for a while there. Turns out it wasn't. It was Jim from The Office actually. But it was
that's right.
Yeah, John Krasinski is not going to be playing the Fantastic Four character. He actually already is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But no, so anyways, once all that started happening, what's funny is episode 4 flips it all on its head where it actually becomes the YouTube episodes that were all like, what do the hex patterns mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? Suddenly, the characters in the show are asking the exact same questions that the YouTubers in real life are asking about what does the show mean, right? Now you have the show, in a very meta moment, asking questions about the show you're watching. And that was so cool to me. That was so, like, Lost, the show, back in the day, that I
never watched it.
Oh, okay. Well, I really like that show, and I really got into this. I was like, this is cool. This is what I want more of. And, you know, my fiance's like, why didn't they just start with this episode? And then that's when it all came together in my mind. And I thought, I don't know if this is too much, but maybe this would have worked better. Maybe. I'm not sure. This would have worked better if you had 2 TV shows. One that was called like Wandavision TV or something, or like Wandavision. Or just
and then the second one is 2 Division.
No, but the other one would be called like Sword or something, right? And you're watching Sword, episode 1, and it's now this woman waking up from the snap with Thanos, and she's going off and she goes into the Sword unit, and she ends up in a TV versus, and then we got the agents. Meanwhile, simultaneously, they're talking about this show that has randomly shown up on television, and they're watching the show. Now, you, in real life, go to your Disney Plus account, and this show just kind of pops up called WandaVision, and it could have like this 70s theme, and it could have like this whole thing, and you watch the episode of the show, and then you watch the Sword episode that's simultaneous to it. And it's almost like a meta game within Disney Plus. Now I think that might have worked better because then we'd have something tangible with Sword, and then something that we're like watching, looking for the clues with the WandaVision thing. I don't know if it would have worked, but it almost seems like that's what the show's trying to do, but they did it in a weird way. And now here we are with 5 episodes in, and I still can't really tell you what the show is trying to say or do yet, other than Wanda seems sad, so she's creating a new life.
Yeah. So, okay, so it seems to me like the premise could be leading towards... Actually, okay, so yeah, all my Marvel comic stuff is kind of like, my knowledge is all kind of jumbled now because I can't remember which arcs are for which and what they lead up to, but I remember reading that it seems like there are some elements of House of M and I think Civil War, like the comic version Civil War, where Scarlet Witch, what I remember is like leading up to Civil War in the comics is that Scarlet Witch kind of goes a little crazy, and then Captain America is trying to save her, like protect her from everybody else because they want to kill her because she's distorting reality so much that it's just affecting everybody, and they know the source is her. So he ends up trying to save her, like protect her, and that is kind of what sparks the Civil War. From what I could be maybe like misremembering it completely, but yeah, like maybe that still could be a similar case here or soon because I think it is Darcy in one of the later episodes saying like, oh, the hex is growing.
Yes.
Right? It's not just like staying in one position.
Yeah, I think you might be right. That might be where they're going with this, to be Wanda to be seen as a threat. But and you're right, House of M is that Vision one, right? Where Vision creates a family to be like normal, and he has 2 sons.
Oh,
is that
maybe.
House of M?
I think Scarlet Witch also has she changes reality so that she also has those twins, Tommy and Billy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm
sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. No, never mind. Disregard me.
So I like your idea of having the 2 episodes like one Sword and one WandaVision. I wonder if it would even make sense like going with the whole MCU movie theme. Like say you have the first episode, it's still the black and white sitcom thing that we watch, but the post-credit scene is Sword. Like, so Sword just reacting to something. And it's not enough to tell you exactly what's happening, but to show you that they're at least involved and they're trying to figure out something obviously related to WandaVision. Yeah. And then episode 2 is the reverse. So it's all Sword, and then the post-credit scene is WandaVision. Yeah. And so what you're watching is like the second episode is just it's happening at the same time as the first episode.
Right.
Because I'm only thinking because they released the 2 at the same time. So it almost seems like there should be some sort of specific thing happening with the 2 of them together.
Now, don't get me wrong. I would love for this to get really meta and like really intense, where you're watching. I leave this to the writers, but you know,
I think you have to
in some way where when you're watching every episode of the WandaVision show, when it's showing like WandaVision's show part of it, if when you're watching that, you're really paying attention to every detail, all the background characters, all the background noises you might be hearing, or some of the sets and what's happening here and there, and like what it's trying to say. If it started like having coded messages, for example, if Wanda was trapped in this and she was trying to send messages to the viewers, I think that would leave this in a much more cool situation where you're glued to the screen looking for every clue you can, because that's almost like
you're trying to help her.
Yeah, I know. That's almost like what the YouTubers are already doing when they're making these little like things, right? Like top 10 things you missed in this episode of WandaVision, right? So it would have been kind of cool if that's how it was done, but I just don't feel like that. It feels really wasted when we're watching a show. Although I will say, in one of the more recent episodes, Wanda was having an argument with Vision, who's starting to figure this out, and then to cancel the argument, she just rolls the credits to the show, and I thought that was awesome. That was I love that too. Was such a crazy meta moment, and it was amazing. And the way Vision just like flips on her, you're just like it really hit hard. I like that moment a lot. It was very well done.
I really like it too. It kind of I like the idea that because the credits are rolling and the music's going, it almost adds a little bit of chaos.
Yes,
because there's a lack of control in several aspects of what's happening in that moment, right? So the foreground is what we like. The foreground is the credits, and the foreground is actually what is creating more of like the intensity than what's actually happening in the background. Yeah. Even though the background actually has intensity growing, but it's just like it's such a nice complementary thing that's happening. Yeah, I really like that too.
I like the creepiness of seeing something you normally see, but used in a scary setting or a horror like setting. For example, what if we saw one of the characters that was in like a lot of danger, and then they're in danger slowly off screen, but the camera never moved because it wouldn't make sense for the camera to move, and the camera stayed on screen for like a really unsettling amount of time. What if the camera stayed on screen for like a minute and a half, and we don't know what happened to our characters, and it could like cut back to the people watching the show being like, where did our characters go? You know, like there's all these moments where it's like I don't know what they can do, but they're breaking the fourth wall now, and it's starting to become more fun. But I would have loved to have seen this a little bit earlier on, and I want more horror. They don't have to go like an adult rating or anything like that. It doesn't have to be M-rated, but I like scary stuff, and Marvel hasn't gone into the scary territory yet, and I would love to see more of that. So,
wait, didn't they? What's wasn't there a New Mutants one with like Maisie Williams and?
I don't think that's part of the Marvel universe, though. I think it's.
Oh, I
they
see.
almost canceled that whole thing. So
yeah.
They kind of released it as like this is what it could have been.
Yeah, that was like the horror.
Horror.
The horror.
What do you think about the latest reveal? Which I think people are overthinking, but what do you think about the latest reveal on Quicksilver?
Well, as I watched it, I kind of flipped out a bit. I was like, "What?
Yeah.
What does that mean for the rights of Quicksilver and like Fox over? Is it? It is Fox, right? Yeah, Fox.
But it's all Disney now. Disney owns it all.
Yeah. But I guess that means. Well, I took it as like, okay, if he's in it, then doesn't that mean like the rights for other X-Men characters that we've seen up until this point like could potentially be used?
See, I don't take it that way. I take it as one of two ways, and both of them are quite boring. So prepare yourself. Way number one is obviously this isn't her real brother. He's a character who has like American style clothing on, has an American accent. Meanwhile, she's almost moving back into her like Sokovia accent, with a name like Petrov and being an American. It doesn't make much sense, right? So this is a person playing her brother. As Darcy says, it's a recast, right? It's a person playing her brother. So it's either just a random person in the Marvel Cinematic Universe who's just like a civilian on the street who she captured just like everybody else and has there to play her brother, and the Marvel Cinematic Studios are just making it this actor for fun so that you get this kind of nod as in like, yeah, there's another Quicksilver, haha, it's a joke. Like, so like we laugh at that, but in the story it is just a random civilian. So it's either that or it's the fact that Wanda is based on television. She's doing all these things based on television, and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there might be a X-Men-like show with Quicksilver, the way we have it. So she's pulling in a pop culture reference from a movie into her reality, which is this Quicksilver character, because she can't pull her real-life brother because real-life brother is dead. So both of those could be true, and both of them are boring, unfortunately. I don't see it as any kind of tie-in to this is actually the X-Men joining up with them in any way, shape, or form. I see this as the very boring thing.
I didn't mean specifically X-Men in the WandaVision show,
right.
But I meant like just the future of the MCU. It just seemed like it is a possibility.
Now, there's apparently a huge reveal at the end of this show where there's a major cameo appearing. So some people are speculating now at this point that it might be Ian McKellen, because some people are thinking X-Men is joining. I think there'll be a mistake. I love Ian McKellen, but I don't want to see him in this because I don't want them to be blending in the old X-Men stuff.
Sorry, there's a cameo at the end of episode 5 or at the end of the season?
At the end of the whole show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll see it when we do our like whole thing on WandaVision at the end here. But I don't know who it's going to be. But some people are speculating it's going to be Ian McKellen because they did Quicksilver here. So, and Ian McKellen, if you could think of, would be Magneto, which would be her father possibly.
But I think I read that in the MCU that we know of so far, like because like that they are not actually children of Magneto.
Yeah, we weren't originally going with that storyline because Disney didn't own the rights at all to this back when they created these characters. So they could definitely rewrite it though.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing saying that Magneto couldn't have had kids and then sent them off to live in Sokovia, and then they were raised by these other people who thought they were the parents or something, right? So
yeah.
They could.
I wonder if this could also be sort of like a stepping stone towards the whole multiverse thing, because we like the next Doctor Strange thing is going to be the multiverse of madness, right? Yep. So, I mean, could this potentially be like a little blip of like maybe during the snap or after the snap, like and everybody came back? Could there have been some sort of weird timeline thing or
something swapped.
multiverse thing where some people from other universes came over to like our Earth and then vice versa?
I definitely saw that theory as well. Yeah.
Yeah, like could this Quicksilver actually be one from another universe?
But he sees her as his sister for some reason, or does he? Maybe he doesn't, and she's just controlling his mind to see her as his sister. Who knows?
Right. Or he is her sister. He is her sister.
Wait, he's her sister? Wow.
He is her brother. Sorry. He sees her. Sorry. He is. Or he sees her as his sister, and she's making him see her as his sister. So she doesn't know that he is a Quicksilver from another universe, but she's also pulled him into this WandaVision world and is making him believe that he is her version brother.
Right. We are dealing with a lot of weird parallel universe stuff here, because Loki's television series is going to be coming out soon, and that is going to be a Loki from a different universe as well. So I'm really curious how that's going to work.
Or a Loki from a different timeline.
Timeline, yes.
But
and
I don't know if that's the
it
same
makes
as a
me
different
wonder
universe.
if Vision is either already... it makes me wonder if Vision is going to be pulled from another timeline in this one too, to bring back Vision. Because yes, we are seeing Vision, but I don't think we're actually seeing Vision.
No.
Because Vision, I believe, is dead, and Wanda is just making up this Vision in her head, which is also kind of funny, because it means Wanda's arguing with herself about if she should be doing this. She knows that the real Vision would see through this, which is why Vision is seeing through this. At least that's my opinion. I don't know if that's true. That's just how I see Vision in this series, is that he's not real.
Yeah.
Wanda's making him up. But
yeah,
maybe by the end of this, because people are going to like Vision, she's going to be able to pull Vision through from another timeline or another parallel universe if we are getting into multiverse stuff too.
Interesting. So what I was thinking about the whole Vision thing is, yeah, because is dead. Like there's no Mind Stone. There's nothing keeping him alive.
He did.
He did. And when she has some sort of connection with Vision with the Mind Stone. She also destroyed the Mind Stone with all of her powers, and I feel like in Endgame. So I feel like she has some sort of vision. She has Vision inside of her.
She's a Wandavision.
She has an essence of Vision actually kind of like within her.
Yeah.
So what I'm seeing as this whole Vision, the one that we see walking around right now, like she recovered the body from Sword, or was it Shield? No, from Sword.
Sword.
Right? From Sword, and I think she is just like her powers in WandaVision are clearly different from what we've been seeing in the movies.
Right.
Like she's completely distorting reality. She's not just. I think this is also like on extreme scale of what we saw her do in Age of Ultron when she first appeared, and we had that whole like weird, like the witch or the ring kind of aspect when she like
Japanese
gets
horror
into people's
kind of
heads.
style.
Yeah, it was. She walks backwards and So. Yeah, that was kind of like a hint of like what we're seeing now, which is just a grander scale of her ability to manipulate people's minds. But all in all, she's distorting reality to a larger scale. And so what I'm seeing is that it's whenever we see Vision walking around, it's his dead body that is actually walking around.
Yeah.
But she is just imparting like her
personality.
It's her vision of Vision.
Yes.
Like she's making everybody else see that Vision.
Right.
When it's literally just the dead body walking around, and anytime that Vision is arguing with her, it's like her. It's the Vision that's inside of her that's fighting with her. That's telling her like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. It's the one that's. It's basically her own like subconscious, but it's not just her voice inside of her. It's also Vision's voice because of their connection together.
Right.
So far that's what I'm guessing is really happening, because it doesn't make sense otherwise for like there would be nobody else that would be distracting her. It seems like she seems pretty set on keeping this world, her Wanda world, as is.
Yeah.
So if not for another voice, then there would be no reason for her to be distracted or for there to be inconsistencies, I think.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 3 questions for you, and then I'm good. First question. The
answer is 7.
The one main agent chick from Sword. I don't remember
Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo.
Right?
Something Rambo. I don't remember Captain Marvel all that well, but is she a character that was in Captain Marvel?
I don't remember.
Because it looks like her mom was possibly the right-hand man or like sidekick to Captain Marvel. Because her mom was the one agent at S.H.I.E.L.D. who had something Photon Rambo. She was like someone Photon.
Right,
Rambo.
she was Maria
Photon.
Photon. Yeah.
So I think that was Captain Marvel's like sidekick or something, was it not? Again, I didn't really watch Captain Marvel, and I'm not there yet in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so, or the Marvel Movie Marathon. I mean, I think
Maria Rambo. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So I think she's connected to that. Okay, so that was not necessarily. That was a question that we kind of just both answered together. So I think she's from that. But yes, okay.
Yeah.
Second question: do you think that leader of Sword, the main guy there, do you think he's the main antagonist to this film or this show?
Oh, good question. Like you think? Are you kind of implying secretly Hydra?
Possibly.
Or,
I don't know.
Hydra
was in one of the commercials. I can't remember. It was like a commercial for a toaster or something, and it said Hydra at the bottom. And I was like, oh wow. So,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So maybe, I don't know. I'm just asking. Do you think he's the main villain?
Oh, geez, I didn't think about that, but it seems possible. I'm not convinced by who's the one that brought over the pineapple.
I don't remember. I don't remember a pineapple.
She's like the only other lady that has like all the lines in WandaVision. She's in.
I only know Darcy, the Rambo chick.
Okay, wait, I gotta look it up. I gotta know. I feel bad I know her name. She's in like a whole bunch of stuff.
I don't remember.
WandaVision, full cast and crew.
Casty crew.
Catherine Hahn, Agnes.
Oh yes, yeah. You're right. There's something going on with her. I don't know who she is, but I do have a theory that yes, Wanda is creating this world, but I have a theory that Wanda is being manipulated by someone else in the show, and I think that that neighbor is a good candidate for it, since Vision doesn't trust her, and if Vision is Wanda, then Wanda doesn't trust her.
Yeah, so I'm not convinced that she's just any average person, because she seems to be witnessing everything, and like there's not a problem.
And she's not controlled by Wanda. It's very important. Like in the last episode, she says, "Do you want me to take that again?" She doesn't. Yeah. She's not controlled by Wanda. She says, "Do you want me to take it again?" She breaks out of character, and I think it's really important because it's like, oh, so like Wanda's not making her be that way; she's being that way. So I think that's a really big clue there, and we'll probably see that for the next. Do we have 5 more episodes or just 4 more episodes?
Four more.
Okay. Yeah. That's my last question then is, do you think this is a one-off series, or do you think this series will continue with more seasons?
I think it'll be with more seasons. Yeah. I guess because I'm assuming that what's going to happen with... Okay, if I recall correctly, and for some reason I thought that Agnes is a witch. And and then I think later on I read that, or I heard that at some point, or one of the comics, that Scarlet Witch is actually taught by a witch. Like, she's taught how to like use more of her powers or develop more powers by a witch. And I actually assumed when I heard that it must be Agnes. That Agnes she's there, she's witnessing everything, and she's has a part in what's happening with this Wanda world.
Yeah.
Okay, WandaVision.
Yeah.
And I would guess that maybe in a second season that we would then be able to see some development between the witch actually teaching Scarlet Witch how to use her powers more or to do other things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's where we're going with this.
If IMDb labels WandaVision as a miniseries, like, was there a definition for miniseries? What does miniseries mean?
Miniseries is like a one-off usually. So HBO does a lot of miniseries where it's just
it's literally like a one-season kind of thing? Oh, okay.
Some of the best shows are miniseries.
Is WandaVision
a miniseries?
Television miniseries. Oh, so maybe it is just one.
Does it say it's a miniseries?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, sorry, this is Wikipedia. But even IMDb says that it's also TV miniseries.
Okay, well, maybe what they mean is it's a miniseries until they realize that they're making a lot of money off of it, and then it's a mega series.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we'll see where it goes.
I
would rather it be a miniseries. I think it'd be better for overall Marvel if it was a miniseries, but who knows?
I guess, yeah. I mean, we're also gonna get all those other ones. Maybe this is a mini-series for now until all of the other ones have their one, like Loki and Hawkeye and Captain Falcon and Bucky.
What I mean by all that is that like you can do another Wanda one. It just wouldn't be WandaVision season 2. It would be like Wanda and Agnes go off to Europe or whatever the show is called. Like, it's almost like a movie, but you're watching it from home. Is how I see these, right? So
yeah. That seems very possible. Yeah, that's true.
And that's all I've got for WandaVision so far, because we don't know much more than that. So, do you have anything else you'd like to say about WandaVision before we close out?
Maybe not really. Nah. We'll have more when we get the rest of the season out there.
All right. Anth0z, where can the audience find you?
Well, if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter still at Anth0z1. That's at Anth0z1.
And if you want to find me, you can also find me on Twitter at Mattbrush Gaming, or you can find me on YouTube at Mattbrush Gaming, where I put this podcast in video format for your eyeballs. But if you want to listen to this podcast like a normal person with your earballs, go to any of your favorite podcasting platforms, and we are there. Leave us a like, leave us a subscribe, give us a star, give us a thumbs up, give us a little encouragement in some way, shape, or form, because we love to hear from you.
Give us a Pawanda.
A Pawanda. Pawanda.
I meant to say Wanda, but I took a weird breath there.
And if you want to send us any kind of essay or anything, or your thoughts on matter, then please email us at thescumbbarpodcast@gmail.com.
Your thoughts on matter?
Thoughts on the matter.
Oh, okay. Just
On
like
matter.
thoughts on matter.
You could give us your thoughts on matter if you want to. That might be quite an intense
Are you
essay.
pro matter? Are you pro matter? Do you believe in matter?
Oh, do you believe in matter?
I hope you do.
All right, Anth0z, I believe you have a haiku you would like to give the people. Go ahead.
Matter is not here. Matter is everywhere, yes. But still, look out there.
Well done, sir. Good
Thank
haiku
you.
on the spot. That was well done. I liked it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody, have a good one. Enjoy your day.
Day? Oh, day. Enjoy your day. Have a good day. Bye. Bye.